guys, it's Glenn from glenscarcollection.com, and today I'm going to talk about one of my favorite cars, the BMW F80 M3. Remember, if you like what you see on this channel, hit the subscribe button, like and share this video so our channel can grow, and always leave a positive comment below. If you're already a subscriber, hit that notification bell. I post at least 3 videos a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 7 a.m. Eastern Time, but a lot of times I'll sprinkle a 4th video, and you won't know unless you hit that notification bell. Here you're looking at 2 cars that I reviewed, F80 M3s, one with a dual clutch transmission and one with a 6-speed manual. Now let me tell you what I like about them, the 5 reasons I love this car, and I'll talk about the car you should buy and about future values. And you're going to be really surprised at that 5th one, so make sure you watch all the way to the end. All right, so the F80 M3 came out here in the United States in model year 2015. And it was a big change. I love my E90 M3. I had it for 6 years. I love that high revving V8. So in this one, we went to a twin turbocharged 3-liter inline 6, rated at 425 horsepower, 406 foot-pounds of torque. Later, a competition version became available that gave you 444 horsepower. Now you can see full reviews of this car, just browse through the channel. I'll probably link them at the end of this video. So we won't get into the stuff, I don't want to repeat myself, that I got into those long driving reviews. There's 5 things that I love about this car, and you should too. You know, the first thing I really love about this car is the looks. I think they really knocked it out of the park. When it first came out, I still think I love the E46 M3, which I've owned 2 of, and my E90 M3, and I guess I'm smitten with the looks of that. But the looks on this car has really grown on me, I think, especially, and most of the stuff I'm going to say in this video will apply to the M4 as well. But the M3 I kind of like a little better. I just think those rear fender flares really do it for me. But you can't go wrong with either car. They're essentially the same car. You choose if you want a 2-door or 4-door. So I think this car looks great from every angle. I think we could have had some more color choices than the ones that they gave us, but I think this is a really good looking car. Reason number 2 why I love the F80 M3 is this engine. So I was one of the doubters when it came out. You know, I love the S54 engine. I've owned that in a Z3M Coupe, 2 E46 M3s. I love the V8 engine on the E92 M3, 8,000 RPM redline, naturally aspirated, V8, can't go wrong with that. But this engine is powerful. The turbo works at almost all RPMs, and you really have, this is a fast M3. This is way faster than the E92 or the E46. And it's so powerful that it has trouble getting that to the rear wheels. Now that's, you know, the reason why I think, and you're still going to have a rear drive variant of the new M3, but I think one of the reasons, like the M5, that they're going all-wheel drive is to put that power to the ground. And there's a lot of power. You won't drive this car and think it's slow. You won't drive this car and think you need to tune it, though most people will, and make good power from it. But believe me, it doesn't need it. All right, and the third thing I love about this car is your transmission choices. So here, the gray one, if I remember correctly, was a dual clutch transmission, and the silver one was a 6-speed manual. And I love the transmission in both of these cars. I actually like the dual clutch so much that I would consider it. For me, as somebody who just loves the manual transmission, if you're going to ask me to choose between the 2, I would still choose the 6-speed manual with the old-fashioned clutch pedal, but I wouldn't doubt you at all for getting the dual clutch. It really is that good. Dual clutch is going to be faster, a couple ticks, 0 to 60, but it's still a quick car even with the manual. Now, they're heavier cars, of course. They're about 3,500 pounds, 3,600 pounds, depending on option and transmission choice. So they're not like a lightweight Cayman or Boxster or anything like that, but they do get to the power to the ground, and you have 2 really good transmissions. It's very rare that you have 2 good transmissions on a car. Usually one is much better than the other, whether it's the automatic or the manual. And that'll bring us into reason number 4, performance. Now these cars can get a real low 0 to 60 time with the dual clutch transmission. In the competition pack, Car and Driver got about 3.8 seconds with this car, which is crazy fast. The biggest detriment I think you'll have to this car is just getting that power down to the ground. Even when I was driving it on these videos, and again, I was being easy on it because it wasn't my car, you can tell that traction is wanting. And especially here in the Northeast where it's cold or slippery or rainy, that it would really be hard to get that power to the ground. It's definitely capable of 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds with the dual clutch and the competition package, but it will take a lot to be able to replicate those numbers. So yes, we went to turbocharged motor. The great news about it, it's really tunability. You can make big power with these cars. Be careful if you do that, of course, then you're of course going to lose some reliability. That's almost common sense. But this car really does perform, and I think this is going to be a car you can buy and really, really like driving for a long time. Now, both of these cars sold like literally the next day after I posted my video, so they do go quick when you get a new one. I believe these were both CPO cars, so that could be one way to buy these cars. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how I would buy these cars. And my fifth reason, which may be a little shocking, is future resale value. Now, we all know the new M3 is coming out with the big grills. We've seen all pictures and videos of that now and unveilings. And I think for the first year or so, at least now, until you can actually take delivery of that car, there's going to be a lot of people that say, you know what, I'd rather have the F80 M3. There's nothing not to like here. And in some reasons, they're right. But I think as this goes on, we're going to get used to those big grills, just like we've gotten used to them on the 7 Series, just like we've gotten used to them on the X7 and all the other BMWs, that I think we're going to get used to it on the new M3 as well. And I think when that happens, a lot of people are going to trade in their F80s and their M3s, their M4s to get the new car. And what that's going to do is that's going to make these cars drop. So it may take a year. It could take 2 years, who knows? But I think then you're going to see a big drop on these cars, just like what happened with the E92s and the E46s when the new model comes out. And then I think what's going to happen afterwards is these models will slowly go back up. I think there'll be people that don't want the all-wheel drive with their dual clutch transmission. I think people, may want to hold on to the rear drive manual since it'll be the last, who knows, it could be the last rear drive manual for the new M3, not the F80. But I think you're going to see in a couple years, just like the E92 M3 and the E46, I don't think they're going to have, they're not going to be iconic, I don't think, like those cars where they're going to rise up in value and you're going to see it at Barrett-Jackson one day. But I definitely think after they bottom out, and I don't think they're done bottoming out, I think they probably have 1 to 2 years to go and then they'll bottom out. I think that they'll be a good price when you can pick one up and it'll hold its value. Now with the, with the economy, good economy could go up a couple thousand, bad economy goes down a couple thousand, but I think if you can get one of these, maybe in that $35,000 range, I think it'll be worth 30 something for a very long time. Now, how I would buy it, if possible, if you can spend a little more money, and I don't think they'll be $35,000 cars, at least not for a long time, would be those with the competition package. Competition package fix a lot of things. Retune the suspension, tweak the steering, obviously more horsepower, and better at putting that power to the ground. The competition still struggles, except in perfect conditions, to get that 444 horsepower to the rear wheels. But it does it a lot better job than the base M3. So I think the competition is certainly going to be a higher price point, but I think it would still be a great buy. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Remember, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.